Hello. Fancy seeing you again. Well done for making your way here. Shows that you're looking to learn, and I hope I can teach you something. Today, we're looking at the skill of brainstorming, or if you prefer to be overly politically correct, mind mapping. What is that? That is when you are in a meeting or just a place with other colleagues and you're asked to put your thoughts together. Yep, you'll typically be given a big bit of sugar paper and some pens, a bit like this, to write down what you think. Normally, you'll have someone talking in front of a whiteboard, giving a speech, and then they'll say, right, you do some talking now. And it can be really awkward. You're sat there in a group and you're like, you speak. And the other person's like, no, you speak. And what everyone really wants is for the other people to be generous with their ideas, because otherwise time just goes really slowly. Yeah, it's much more interesting if you're actually having a good discussion. So in this lesson, I'm going to be giving you some phrases and ideas for taking part in a brainstorming session. Okay, right. So the first moment will be when the paper and the pens are given out to you, and someone might ask, so who'd like to get the ball rolling? Who'd like to get the ball rolling? To get the ball rolling, to get it starting to move, which is a metaphor for you having an interesting discussion, i.e., someone speak. Who's going to speak? Well, as well as someone speaking, we need someone writing. So the next question you could ask, or someone else might ask, who's going to volunteer to be scribe then? Scribe is the person that writes. Yep. If you volunteer, it means you're happy to do something for the good of it. Yep. So without being paid. Who's going to volunteer to be scribe then? And then hopefully someone says, yeah, I will. I don't mind doing that. And then you might say, oh, nice one. Or thanks. Or well done, Paul. That's really great. That sounded a bit sarcastic. Well done, Paul. Thanks, Paul. I had a boss called Paul once. We were a bit like this, me and Paul. Anyway, moving on. Right. So we've got someone to write. Now we need to get some ideas. Well, let's have something to talk about. Why not how to encourage health and fitness in the workplace? How to encourage workers to be healthy. So you're trying to get someone to speak. Anyone? What we thinking? What we thinking? This is short for what are we thinking, but in speech we might just contract it to what we thinking about this, guys. We, yep, that pronoun to include others. Or if you feel that it's not going to make the other person feel uncomfortable, you might say, what are you thinking about this one, Jody? What are you thinking about this? What are your thoughts on this? And then Jody or whoever it is might say, wow, I don't know, I suppose. So you could say, well, I don't know, maybe it's about having a bowl and giving free fruit out. A very boring idea, but once we have one idea, then more ideas come. So, I mean, brainstorming, we typically have this idea here, and then it reaches out to another idea. And then from this one idea of the fruit, then from there we might have another idea. Well, that might go to another idea. So this is the fruit idea. And then Pauline might say, I think it's about giving free gym passes. We might have the gym idea. and that will give some more ideas, and then someone else will think this. So once you get one idea down, then you can spread your ideas out on the page. Okay. So someone volunteers an idea, which is really generous of them. You know, we say thanks. Nice, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. So what do these words actually mean in this context? That's an interesting idea. It could mean that's a really weird idea. That's an interesting idea. Or it could mean genuine. That's an interesting idea. It depends how you sort of say it. Unusual could also be a bit strange. That's an unusual idea. But we want to give compliments. We want to make people in our group feel good about what they're contributing. That's a great idea. Yeah, thanks. No, really interesting. And then your job is to take it on to the next level. Yeah, I suppose we could maybe ask for a water machine at work as well. Yeah, so we're looking to extend. Absolutely. I think, yeah, and also maybe we could, so it's like, imagine it's like a game of tennis. Yeah, we hit the ball, and then what do we do when the ball comes over to the other side of the net? Do we run off the tennis court, or do we try and hit the ball back? That's conversation, basically. Shame I can't hear what you're thinking, but, you know, maybe you can write a comment at the end or something. Okay, so extending ideas. I'm thinking more along the lines of. So here we have a line, and this person is thinking, no, I'm not sure about this line. I'm thinking something different. I'm thinking more along the lines of, it's quite a sort of vague and general way of introducing an idea, but it's also good vocab at the same time. So it's a good phrase to use. I'm thinking more along the lines of. If someone says something that you were about to say, you could say, oh, you've taken the words right out of my mouth. You've taken the words. Yeah, I was ready to speak, but you've taken the words. You've taken them out of my mouth. So you could say that if you hear someone saying something that you really agree with. Okay, so our mind map is looking a little empty, so we need to get a few more ideas. And we've also got, we're looking at the clock, and we've got like 2 minutes before the next section. So we can't just sit there going, Yeah, we got some ideas. It's about, okay, let's get some more ideas. Anyone else got any thoughts? Anyone else got any thoughts? Actually, yeah, no, I do. What about if once a month we organise a outing and we go and do a walk all together, like at the beach or in a forest or something? Yeah, you're so right. That would be really great. We could ask all of our families along, and no one will turn up. No, it'd be really fun. Again, we're wanting to expand. So someone gives a little idea and we're expanding. That's what a brainstorm mind map is, expanding ideas. I'd like to expand on that, actually. I think we could promote that, and I think it would be really beneficial to everyone. You know, it would improve staff relationships and We've still got 1 more minute until the next bit of the talk. So again, do we just sit there silently, twiddling our thumbs? No, we get some more ideas. Shall we just go round and hear from everybody one more time? Shall we just go round and hear any more ideas? Shall we? It's a proposal. Shall we just? A filler word doesn't mean anything. Shall we go round and listen to everyone one more time? Now, if you are totally stuck and you can't think of anything to say, then these 3 words offer you a way into sharing an idea. How might we? So always be thinking like, how might we? How might we encourage people to go on the walk? Well, we could put posters up in the staff room. We could plan a really good walk. We could go to the pub at the end, so it's fun as well. How might we? So any kind of question we can think about this. How might we encourage people to eat the fruit? We could have kiwi fruit, and we could have grapes, and we could have bananas and apples. And so it's interesting. Okay? So these 3 words help you to expand your thoughts. Hope in today's lesson there has been a useful phrase for you. What you can do now is have a go at doing the quiz and see if you've remembered the meaning of these phrases. If this is the first time seeing one of my videos, then where have you been all this time? If you like the style of videos, then subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.